America is over and that she's plummeting fast. And he says America will end with fighting. So America is going to come down as this nation declines. We are going to go into endless conflicts with other nations. It is not going to be a case of Israel is doing this and we're backing them up and nobody says anything. Now, whatever Israel is doing, they're doing in the bright spotlight. Everybody's eyes is on them. Everybody can see them now for who they are. And America, too late, is trying to distance herself from over 60 years of ingrained Israel can do no wrong policy. You touch Israel, you touch us. All of a sudden now it's, well, we're seeking understanding, and we're seeking to really evaluate what to do. And you cannot distance yourself from all the things that have been done. You will have to pay the price for those things. And so what I saw, what God says, that America's going to go down fighting. Do you hear me? America's going to go down being cornered like an animal fighting for its life, desperate and fighting like a cornered animal, like alley cats who corner one cat and begin to attack it as that cat is fighting for their life. And what I saw a really big ginger, okay? A ginger cat. You might call it lore, or you might just call it the knowledge of cat lovers, but I saw a very big ginger cat, and everybody says that ginger cats are just wild and sassy. They just like to fight. They're just the big dogs of the streets, you know? A ginger will come and go as he pleases, you know, and that's what people say about cats. I wouldn't know. But I saw this really big ginger who had been standing on top of the trash can, right? So the cats were in an alley, and apparently earlier, before my eye got there, the ginger had been standing on top of the trash can with the lid on top and lording over some other cats that were at the bottom. But then all of a sudden, the cats began to appear on the roof, okay? So there was a building right next, they were in an alley, in the building there, cats started to appear on the roof, and cats also started to appear on the wall. Alley and building on the inside. So cats started appearing all along that sloping roof, looking down into the alley. Cats appeared at the top of the wall. Cats started coming all over, and the cats started to swat at this ginger. Cats at the bottom started to hit at the trash can. So they were bumping the trash can in an attempt to get the trash can to fall so that the ginger cat would fall off so that they could tear him to pieces. And the cats along the wall were reaching down and bopping the ginger on his head. So they were reaching down and giving him swats. Some of them, their arms were too short to reach. That's obviously the nations like, I don't know, Belarus, nations like Haiti, Guyana. What are you going to do to America? Absolutely nothing. But there were nations, bigger cats, black tabby cats, all black, one white paw, that kind of cat. And they could reach the ginger, and they were giving him some solid whacks on the top of his head, okay? They were messing up his fur and everything like that. And the pedestal is shaking. The bottom cats are, you know, those are the nations that are small. That's the whole of Africa that I always wonder what you're doing in American business. What? So that's the whole of Africa having its uprising, starting to say the things they say, starting to really sense their own power, starting to undergo their own revolutions, their own changes, for the entire global order is changing, hitting against the bottom, Latin America, hitting against the bottom of the trash can in an attempt to overthrow the ginger. So he's dealing with the shaking pedestal that he's sitting on. And then from the top, there's spectators going meow from the top. They're watching, they're giving their voice to it. And then cats along the wall are reaching out and hitting this ginger, hitting him in his head. And so he's beleaguered from all sides. And this cat became visibly upset. Like all his fur stood up like an electric wire had touched him. He was so enraged, but he couldn't handle the onslaughts from everywhere. And the way that the Lord cut off that vision is that the garbage can was tipping. It was tipping, and the lid also had started to slide off, and the ginger had his claws locked into the lid, keeping one paw free to try and hit back at the ones who were hitting him, but they were not. And there was one particular cat, a big black cat with one white paw, and that cat was poised to leap on the ginger as he was falling. He was poised to leap and tackle him right in the chest and take him down. And I knew that once that cat lost the security of the garbage can, America, do you see that God didn't put you on top of a fountain? He put you on top of a trash can. Then you say that the visions I see, I'm making them up and I'm copying them from the internet. Houseway. But anyway, the trash can was leaning. The lid was sliding off. Leverage was being lost. And I saw the big black cat that had been getting the most bops, the most hits in. That cat now crouched. And he was watching for a moment, and I saw that if he launches, he's going to hit the ginger right in the chest. The two of them are going to go down. The momentum is going to be on the black cat's side, and on top of that, there's a sea of angry, enraged cats, and they're going to just rip the fur off of the ginger one. And so that's what God says. America, your end is going to be like a cornered animal, going down, desperate and fighting for its life, like cats in an alley that have cornered one cat, and they're going to attack it from every side. That's the kind of ending you will have. And then God says they'll be staggering in the street, trying to fight back, and they won't be able to meet the might of the Russian army, and the Chinese will always will also surround them as the country goes out with a whimper and not a bang. Going out with a whimper and not a bang is a euphemism that says that you think from the way that somebody talks, right? From the bravado, from the we believe in international cooperation, but we will answer aggression and we will answer the question and we will answer all the test scores. We'll answer when you call. All that talk makes you think that somebody's going to get out there and say it with his chest. But then what happens is I saw a scene exactly like 9/11. Okay. So I saw dust rising up. I saw dust rising up either from an explosion or a building collapse of some kind. And a firefighter was in the process of dying. He was still on his feet. It was a firefighter and it was a policeman, okay? Policeman in blue, probably New York City, but also a firefighter who either had taken off his helmet or he had lost his helmet. The firefighter was in the process of dying. Something had happened and hurt the man at his back. I couldn't see his back, but because of the way he was staggering and the blood coming out, I knew that man is dying. But the policeman was just dazed. Either something had blown up, something really big had blown up, an explosion, something. The policeman was dazed, and both of them was covered in the same kind of dust that came from 9/11. Massive explosion or an attack, an aerial raid. Something had happened. The firefighter had been hit by it and he was dying. The policeman was dazed and had no idea. His ears were ringing. He was experiencing that shock. You know, in the movie when it's like, and the sound is distorted, that's what he was experiencing. And both men were kind of drunken and weaving because of the impact. And God was showing me this is how Russia's going to hit America so hard that they will be as if they are drunk. And who's going to be providing ground support, air support, camel support, underground support, coming out of the sea support? It's China. I told you that China is going to be like a large crab. I saw a large red crab run up on America. This vision is years old. And the crab squeezed America from both sides, East Coast, West Coast. And America began to send out pain signals, little lightning bolts. This is the pain signals to show that the nation was in pain. And that crab was squeezing with massive pincers. And so whatever Russia is planning, whatever Russia is organizing, China is there like, listen, we got you on manpower. You just draw up the blueprint and our boys will execute.